think how we think about it. Lobbyists aren't bad people. Special interest groups are not bad people. But guess what? They're corrosive. People who accept money from them aren't bad people. But it's human nature. You go out, Lynn, and bundle $250,000 for me, all legal, and then you call me after I'm elected and say, Joe, I'd like to come and talk to you about something. You didn't buy me, but it's human nature. You helped me. I'm going to say, sure, Lynn, come on in. Now is the time to heed the timeless advice from Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick. End of quote. I promise you, the president has a big stick. I promise you.
This election year, the choice is clear. One man stands ready to deliver change we desperately need. A man I'm proud to call my friend. A man who will be the next president of the United States, Barack America.
That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air.
I love kids jumping on my lap.
The fact is that what happens now is that we, in fact, have to fundamentally change the culture of how women are treated. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than in self-defense, and that's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it.
Does nothing to tackle the #1 job facing the middle class, and it happens to be, as Barack says, a 3-letter word: jobs. J-O-B-S. The younger generation now tells me how tough things are. Give me a break. Speak out and be more straightforward. I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom. Hillary Clinton is as qualified or more qualified than I am to be Vice President of the United States of America. Let's get that straight. And quite frankly, it might have been a better pick than me.
I went to the big guys for the money. I was ready to prostitute myself in the manner in which I talked about it. But what happened was they said, come back when you're 40, son.
Eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth, out of $1.4 billion. It's hard to even say it so much.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
And by the way, it costs a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night.
ever run for political office again?
No.
I know I'm called middle class Joe. It's not meant as a compliment, means I'm not sophisticated. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over fact.
Senator Biden, words have in the past gotten you in trouble. Words that were borrowed and words that some found hateful. An editorial in the Los Angeles Times said, in addition to his uncontrolled verbosity, Biden is a gaffe machine. Can you reassure your voters in this country that you would have the discipline you would need on the world stage, Senator?
Yes. My name is Joe Biden, and I love ice cream. What President Trump has done in going his spreading of racism, the way he deals with people based on the color of their skin, their national origin, where they're from, is absolutely sickening. No sitting president has ever done this. Never, never, never. No Republican president has done this. No Democratic president. We have racists, and they've existed. They've tried to get elected president. He's the first one that has. And the way he pits people against one another is all designed to divide the country, divide people, not put them together.
If Haiti, a god-awful thing to say, if Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it. Lobbyists aren't bad people. Special interest groups are not bad people. But guess what? They're corrosive. People who accept the money from them aren't bad people. but it's human nature. You go out, Lynn, and bundle $250,000 for me, all legal, and then you call me after I'm elected and say, Joe, I'd like to come and talk to you about something. You didn't buy me, but it's human nature. You helped me. I'm going to say, sure, Lynn, come on in.
Now is the time to heed the timeless advice from Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick. End of quote. I promise you, the president has a big stick. I promise you.
Hello. How are y'all doing? Hold on. We're back. Gotta reset the Biden count. Nope. There we go. Who made the lo-fi Biden mix? I can link it. I just searched lo-fi Biden.
I am gay!
Here it is. People subscribe. Bear Punch, thank you. Who else? Ashley, thank you. Batman, Gomi, Rain.
I am gay!
I believe that's it. We are so back, folks. I guess I don't have to do pre-roll the 3 minutes of ad every hour thing because they've just disabled pre-roll ads for political streams, haven't they? So like, did anyone get a pre-roll ad when they came into this? You know, like you have to watch. I guess so, right? Like, does anyone? Because that was why I was doing it. No one did. Well, this is political. No, I've never done politics. This is a parking related content. There's no. It's all about parking and particularly in a crazy style that makes you go oop. No one got ads. Okay, that's perfect. What's been happening recently? I guess there's still stuff from before that we haven't talked about. Especially the Spudley, thank you. Is that a brown bear? What is this? Trump's own awareness of what Doge is up to appeared to be in question. Shortly after he suggested the federal government should deploy the young Doge staffers as air traffic controllers. This is an interesting... Honestly, this is like surprising to see. Like, even Trump doesn't know what's going on, or at least he's saying he doesn't. Or maybe, is this like an inside source then? It's interesting because there was a second here. Obviously, we all thought Doge was like going to be a fake thing, you know, just busy work that's not actually, has actually no oversight. And then it turned out that constitutionally, like, it does have no power, but that like the federal government is just like not caring about that, and allowing Elon and his like insane evil broccoli-haired Zoomer cohort to just like take over a bunch of like, I guess, classified information about a bunch of citizens. The scariest of which honestly was the one about the, I think it was USAID related, money towards this like Lutheran charity for homeless people. That it's like they got the social security numbers of all of the people who have like who are on the charity, all the information, which is like a sort of as concerning, terrifying conclusion of like why is Doge collecting that? Funny, I think, or Bunny, thank you. But I think I wonder if this is genuinely true. Like, for a second, I thought, oh, okay, so Elon is a part of the grand evil plan, and he's not actually going to get kicked out. The thing he's doing is important. I'm also a Zoomer, yes. What he's doing is important for whatever fascist project they have. Also, there's a hype train if you would like to give me money, thank you. And he's, you know, they're in tandem, right? Which is, of course... Sorry, I forgot to say the thing that we initially thought, or I initially thought, was like, oh, he'll be gone in like 2 weeks. Because, you know, those are two big egos, and Trump can't stand people saying that like Elon is the actual one running the show. And I thought, no, he's important and indispensable for the broader project. But now I wonder if that's not true. Whether, like, they don't have a grand plan still, even though it seems like they would have had a grand plan at this point. They have concepts of a plan, to quote the president. I love how he says that too. I have concepts of a plan. It's like a Homer style line. And everyone kind of has their own little different plan, and their interests are kind of somewhat antithetical. And it's really what in reality is just happening is that all of the breaks have been released, so to speak. Like, everyone can take whatever they kind of want, as long as those interests and what they're taking aren't antithetical. And Elon is doing his own thing, I guess, and Trump isn't all that aware of it. And if that's the case, I think he doesn't. Anonymous, thank you. It's my favorite donation sound. And if that's the case, then I guess he'll probably be kicked out at some point, because Trump can't tolerate people viewing him as like the guy who's in charge. In that sense, it will, I think, go back to Trump 1 of like revolving door. I thought maybe it would be different, that they would be like unified. But of course, like the fact that it's crime season is like a big thing that crypto people are saying now, that it's like you can do whatever the fuck you want. And it's broadly crime season, like white collar crime season. And so like it's just like a mad dash to strip the country of copper wiring, so to speak. Which implies that there's a similar thing to Trump 1 in relation to everyone, just the revolving door, Trump continually kicking people out, and it's like you get to strip the copper wiring. There's no way SBF certainly wouldn't have been jailed. Absolutely not. It's interesting, SBF's mom or parents are like trying to get Trump to pardon him, although a lot of crypto doesn't want that. Trump has actually done a couple things that have pissed off the crypto people, because they all hate SBF, all the crypto people, because it like started the crackdown. He did. SBF backed the wrong horse. It was the Republicans broadly that they should have invested in, clearly. It's obviously, I mean, yeah, it's white collar crime season.
I'm gay.
Anonymous, thank you.
I am a guy who wants to screw guys.
They don't have an overarching plan? I don't think so. Like, the thing with the tariffs, I think the tariffs are coming back because, free Bernie Madoff, yeah. I think the tariffs are coming back because, like, Trump wants tariffs. Like, he is tariff pilled. He's McKinley pilled. He wants the tariffs to come back as, like, the main way that America is generating money. Kleptocat free for all.
I'm gay.
Anonymous again.
I'm a guy who wants to screw
I don't know
guys.
if it's the same anonymous. That's why it's anonymous. You can't tell, but thank you. And he's gonna find, like, as soon as he kind of realizes that he hasn't gotten actually any concessions from both Mexico and Canada, he's gonna go back onto it, because they temporarily paused it for a month to see how they feel. I think he's gonna do it again. Maybe it'll be like a less strong tariff. Kamala's gonna protect Black man's crypto investment. I mean, both parties were fairly pro crypto. It's just the Republicans are way more, and they're pro crypto. Like, there's some crypto people who don't want this. Like, this is pro crypto in the sense that it's like legalizing meme coins. Like, making state mandated meme coins. Like, Trump literally has a meme coin. Which is another thing that a lot of crypto people were pissed about, because obviously a bunch of people invested money into the Trump meme coin, and a lot of that came from, like, out of other investments, other meme coin and crypto related investments. So it's like he's, I mean, of course he is, because he's a selfish narcissist who's only in it for himself. He's taking his supporters and like sucking their energy, so to speak. Canadian feds announced investment in a new Arctic port. to the resources of the country. I mean, yeah, of course, that's the thing about these like tariff threats even, and how incredibly stupid they are. Because it's like you don't want to trade and have a majority of your trade invested in a country like this. That's what Trump doing this suggests. It's like it takes a long time to invest into new trade routes, so to speak, new options for trade. If you're at risk of like, just a coin toss leading to being just unable to trade properly with your largest trading partner, that's really bad. And even if they don't do the tariffs, it's like, okay, we don't want to fucking trade. Like, get us away from this. Like, China wouldn't do this. You think China would do tariffs on? No, they would be very happy to trade with us. President Xi, please. My country yearns for simple commodities.
I am gay.
Ruby, babes, thank you for the tier 1. Yeah, so we'll see how that develops. I still maintain that the tariffs, that something is going to happen. I think something's going to happen. I believe it. The empire lasts only 250 years is such a funny one. Because it's like a weird, like, British Empire pop pseudo-historical fact. The justification for it is also so funny. Like, the actual... Where does it come from? What's the guy who said it? It's Fate of Empires. And the specific empires are so funny. Like the basis of the claim. So we have Assyria, date of rise and fall, Persia, which is Cyrus and his descendants, and then Greece, for some reason, is Alexander and all of his successors. And then we have the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire, which doesn't make a distinction between what's it called, the Principate and the Dictate. What are the two Roman Imperial? The Arab Empire, the Mamluk. The Ottoman one is very funny because it's like such an arbitrary 1570. Yes, the Eastern Roman Empire is not included in this. And then Spain, I guess, started existing in the 50s. And then Romanov Russia is awesome because it's like not even a state. It's like I guess he'll do this with Cyrus and his descendants too. And then Britain just, I guess, stops existing in the 1950s. This meme was invented by a British imperialist. And then this is the evidence for it. Then I love people who are talking about America. I mean, America suddenly collapsed, that sort of pop history is exactly this way of thinking about the world. And yeah, it's great. It's like this is what history used to be. I mean, no, this was always like pseudo history. But guys being like, hey, look, the American South didn't do well. It started out as more of a powerhouse, and now it isn't. Look, the Roman Empire, the southern part of Europe, it used to do well, and now it isn't. I'm seeing a pattern here with southern parts of political, polities beginning to do well. Maybe we could apply this to every single, like, that's what history just used to be. Principate and the Dominate, thank you. Yeah, it's great. But also it would be funny, like, there's so much funny about that. Where is the meme? It's like, it's a Luigi Mangione meme too, but it's like also a Bernie Sanders meme. It's like such peak, like pop leftist Twitter account content. It claims Rome fell in 180 because that makes 250 years. Where is the meme? It's very funny. Even if you're only counting Western, it's 450. I mean, it's just when it started to get washed, because that's the same as, yeah. Um, but sure, yeah, the American Empire also would make sense because America wasn't an empire in 1776, right? Like, wouldn't it would be a lot more then? Like, when would we say America began to have like imperial ambitions? Stainless tumbler? I guess that's a stainless. Yeah. Um, After the Civil War, I guess Manifest Destiny, maybe. Mexican War, yeah. Um, so it's got plenty of time. So don't worry, don't worry about it. It was also someone made a funny point as well that like it's so awesome. It's a weird photo of him too. Like it looks AI generated or something. I'm once again asking you to recall that on average, even the structure. I'm asking you to recall that on average, empires survive 250 years. The U.S. will be 249 years old. It's great. Yeah, he's like airbrushed. It's very Reddit. That's the maybe the way. It's not quite. It's like leftist Reddit, which is its own sort of entity. Um, I guess maybe Monroe Doctrine is the beginning. The funny one, the funny addition to that too, though, is that like, um, you know, a 75-year-old does not on average live to 76. Like if it's still going, there's a lot of yeah, it's very silly. Um, Trump being the president for the 250th is actually sick. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty fitting. I can't think of a more perfect, more apt description or of Americanism than Trump. I do wonder, yeah. Um, what else is going on? What a time to be alive. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Military parade is gonna be lame. Wasn't that in the start? Didn't Trump want like the tanks to go down like Washington or whatever, and then he couldn't get that because the roads just can't support like the weight of a tank. Like it's gonna destroy all the roads. Um, yeah, they're gonna do it this time. There's no one to tell him not to do that. Um, gonna take the Trump buyout. What does that mean? They tear up asphalt so they park them nearby. Yeah, it's like we got tanks. They're cool. Trump wanting to do like a late Soviet era aesthetic is so perfect. Um, when America is in its like anti woke like Brezhnev period or something. I take it back. You know what? It's true. 250 years. It's almost 250. Anytime now, America, it's gonna collapse. Um. Oh, buyout for the CIA personnel. Yeah, it's a big problem for me and my very very high paying CIA job. The USA has dried up, folks. We're canceling the podcast. It's like all those weird guys who said we're CIA implied or suggested. It's all the CIA money. It's drying up, folks. I'm sorry. That's still yeah. I wonder because they said they would replace USAID with something else, and I wonder how stupid it's gonna be. Like they don't understand how American soft power works, so they're gonna like what harebrained schemes is the is the Trump admin gonna come up with in terms of like money abroad? It's like the most evil things possible. Nothing ever happens talks. I don't. I think something's happened. I think things are undeniably happening, folks. Funding for third world benefit. They're gonna fund Groypers abroad. There's gonna be a Groyper funding account to get more Pepes. Like posting weird infantilizing things about their friends without a D. And Trump is suggesting to invade Gaza, but I think that one's not going to happen. We're getting like, I mean, it was sort of like this during Trump 1, where he would say something insane and literally everyone was like, no, and then he would back down. The question is like, he doesn't have to back down as much now. Like that was the thing they were mad about for the entire Biden admin, was the fact that it's like, oh, they had the deep state to worry about. And, you know, Trump was surrounded by his advisors who were evil, and he was too stupid to understand that they're, you know, deep state neocons. Yeah, I think it was Kushner's. I don't know how much of a role Kushner has this time. Even congressional Republicans are saying American soldiers in Gaza are not starter. It's also like, if you look at poll, they're also losing their minds about it, because all the like the people who are too right wing for Trump and who think he's like Jewish, have been talking about how Trump is going to make you die for Israel. Like literally, the conspiracy theory was that all the anti-woke stuff was to make you feel complacent, to appeal to like, you know, noble anti-woke white men, and then they were just going to conscript them and then make them die for Israel. Maybe it's true. Look, maybe it's true. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what's actually going to happen. Yeah, I don't think so, but it's certainly that faction of the American right are not happy. We now have like the Fuenteses of the world who have like tried to flank Trump on the right, which is an interesting move, honestly. I mean, he's obviously like he's like grifting, and he needs to differentiate himself. I guess that's kind of it. Like, I wonder, is that the smart move if you're trying to be is differentiating yourself from Trump? Maybe you're thinking, I mean, I guess it is in the sense that I think his approval is going to go down. Maybe Fuentes like is at least smart enough to see the writing on the wall there. It's also, there was some clip of him being like, that people were saying was based, where he was like, these young right-wing white men are fighting black people because they think that those are the people who are running their lives, when it's not true, when it's actually billionaires. And everyone was like, oh, that's based. But like, obviously, like the classic right-wing conspiratorial image of American politics is that like the billionaires are the Jews, and they're tricking black people into fighting for them. That's like the, you know, Black Lives Matter funded by Soros stuff, which contextualizes black people as irrational and violent, and then Jewish people as like scheming and empower, you know. So it's like a soft version of that, where he's signaling, and then the people in the crowd, obviously, you know, they know what he means. But it's enough, I guess, for people to clip it and post it to Twitter, and lefties to be like, "Oh, he's almost there." Oh yeah, also, I think this was happening when I was streaming last. But people, the right got very mad at me on Twitter. Some very normal stuff about this tweet. I could not have expected in 1,000 years for the people to be mad about this to be the right. And the angle they're mad about, maybe you see this and you know it's coming. The angle they're mad about is the implication that original woke wasn't cruel. And so all the fucking quote tweets to this are like, remember when you bullied that guy who you know, like, what, like, this one is awesome. Remember when you disgusting piece of shit bullied this engineer to tears, what should have been the best day of his life, over a shirt made for him by a woman, and it's like sexy ladies on a shirt or whatever. which like I don't personally remember that because I didn't participate in that. But also like it's so it's so revealing of the conservative psyche and how much they hate liberals for just like shaming them. It's also, by the way, I never said I was dark woke in this. I'm just pointing out, but that's fine. Like, it's interesting how the examples provided are not like, remember when you like killed a bunch of people? Remember when you did like terrorism that led to a bunch of people's deaths? Am I the keyboard girl? I don't know. Who's that? It's like, remember when you were mean? Remember when you bullied someone and they cried? Because that's really like what wokeism is fundamentally, is a representation of all of the things you're shamed for by the left. And they're losing their fucking minds about it continually. That's the only actual through line about what woke is it represents the people or the cultural entities that are shaming you. And people in their replies are like, this radicalized me. 1.4 thousand likes. The shirt guy radicalized you. That's what made you into. I don't like, and it's also very funny that they think like there's a lot of people who were replying like, and you know, you won't actually be able to do this anymore. You know, you were cruel, and now that we're in power, we control culture. There's this fascist obsession with the controlling of culture because it's a hard thing for state power, especially in like a liberal democracy, to like wrap its hands around and squeeze and eliminate. There will always be people who are sneering at you, and so they seem to imagine. Also, just I always do this when someone is angry in a viral tweet. This blew up, my tummy hurts, because you always get people who are like, you deserve it. I hope your tummy hurts even more. And it's very funny. Well, you wanted to go dark woke and your tummy hurts with you get the confrontation you were desiring. Quite literally couldn't stomach the truth. I don't understand. Can someone, is this someone calling me a whore? I'm confused. You need the hotline number, or is OnlyFans good enough? I don't know what that means. Good. It's the least what you deserve. It's the least of what you lot deserve after what you've put the entire Western world through over the course of the last decade. Trump is alive and the 47th president. Very grateful for this. I guess this he's happy my tummy hurts. This one's he's like the Joker. Stop guzzling. Okay. You're going to learn that what makes the worst days of your life was completely normal to the people who spent their whole lives with the regime's boot on their necks. They have such a persecution complex. It's so funny. Like, the thing they're talking about here is people online being mean to them. Like, they think that they're the one who has it, like, hard. Everyone hates you. I don't feel bad for the wokes. I want to eat them. You believe in cutting off the healthy breasts and penises of adult children. I just said my tummy hurts, man. I don't... Your entire ideology is based on evil practices. This is exactly it. He's the only one who actually understands that my tummy doesn't hurt. You crumple quickly. It's called guilt. Have you tried being more cruel? Oh, and then this the classic, like a open pedophile. I'm confused by what that means. Like, it's not quite a rape threat, right? It's saying that it's happened to me. I mean, this is a great website. It's one of my favorite websites ever. I love logging onto it and seeing all the nice things people have to say to me. This had 5 million views, dude. I'm sure, like, I still get, like, if you look at my replies, like, if you just search Liv Agar and then latest, it's just people who are still so mad at me. Um, like, I guess it's kind of died down now. I'm sure there are people, I'm sure they'll still be at it. Like, that sort of hatred for a couple people, their brains just break, and then they just, like, this is the person I'm going to focus on for the next 3 years. So I'll have to see that. Like, some of the quote tweets I was getting were people who followed me. It's like, oh, you're like, this is a long-term investment. Because that's all they have when they win. Like, their lives aren't actually getting better. The price of eggs has doubled, right? It's just, I can get mad at people online. And I can flame, like, this is the next person I'm going to flame. For not correcting Chop when they said Agar. Did Chapo mention me? I haven't listened recently. Was it about that? People pronounce my name. It's a fake name. You can pronounce it however you want. Well, like Crapo, get their asses. Get their asses. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I'm so happy. It's pronounced Agar, exactly. Of course it was fake. I mean, it's a pen name. It's real in that sense. Is the first name real? Sort of. Yeah. Oh, Trash Future. Oh, okay. Yeah, I went on that one. Yeah. That's okay. I don't mind. Trash Future was fun. As a nom de plume. It's real to me. It's as real as you want it to be. What is fake anymore? That's true. It makes you think. My last name is Posting, obviously, and I stopped going by it online because I wanted a separation. Anyways, what's going on now? All names are fake, yeah. So yeah, that was great. I mean, it really just reaffirms. It's funny, like, if you look at the replies to this or the quote tweets, they're all so, one of the good things about me not writing ever is that I've been keeping this up as pinned. I should probably keep this up as pinned anyways. Because all the, like, conservative replies to this are like there's got to be some good quote tweets. Yeah, they're very mad about it, and they're like, we won. NPC memes, like, we won. You can't be mad about this anymore. It's not true. Which is funny because, like, they treat you, because everyone is like a Democratic operative to them. That's like their only actual opposition. That's the only type of person that could disagree with them. And they seem to think that, like, because Kamala lost, that people don't think that they're weird. Because again, they lose their minds about being called weird. It's like the worst thing that can happen to them. And they have a weird repressed defense mechanism about it. Because, like, honestly, if this didn't mean anything to you, then you wouldn't be mad about it. It would just be funny. Like imagine if, like, I posted this meme. Love family, I'm sorry we're doing busy educating ourselves, doing research and sharing facts. Like, all the people down here, like this guy who's, like, answering seriously. Like, if I was mad about that and I didn't find it funny, or if, like, how am I going to phrase this? I don't know why this is difficult for me to phrase. It's a Biden moment. If I was constantly posting about how stupid the people are who are responding to this sincerely, how, oh, they're such fucking, like, I would clearly be mad about it. It clearly wouldn't just be a funny thing that people who are not able to understand nuance and context online because they're, like, boomers or whatever are coming into my replies and taking it seriously because they like arguing with anyone. I can't remember how I started that sentence, but like clearly, if I was like posting about it, I would be mad about it. Like it's not the thing that they do with the weird stuff, even now, so clearly demonstrates that it made them lose their minds. And that they think that they don't have to see anyone refer to it anymore because of Trump winning. And they're going to unfortunately find out that that's not true. There's like a pretty vague conservative cultural dominance right now. And they think that it's going to last forever and it's going to intensify. And that's not, they're unfortunately going to find out that that's not the case. And I don't know, we should bring the weird thing back, clearly. Clearly it fucks with them. I don't like, they really are mad about it. You spew a lot of hate. This is just stupid. The left has all the weird. Wonderful imagination, but you should try talking to people. This is a cope. We don't hate being called weird. I think the first time it happened, we all just looked at each other and said, did the people with purple hair and their tits out just call a bunch of men with gray beards weird? Which, like, then why were you posting about it continually when this was like a Democrat line? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't actually work. If it was funny, you would laugh about it and then stop posting about it, and you wouldn't be in my replies. Like, it's like no one is convinced. That is the interesting thing about these sort of things as well, is like purple hair and tits out is a funny one. Like the tits out, I mean, I guess it's like that isn't a stereotype I've seen. I guess it's just misogyny. I'm trying to think of like that representing I don't understand why are gray beards like it's a really weird image they've constructed of themselves, because again they have to work really hard to not think of themselves as like the lame kid in school that everyone's laughing at, which is not necessarily to say that they are continually that. It's just they have like such an extremely strong reaction to the thought that that is where they are, which by itself shows you a really important, look into their psyche. Their image of culture as a thing to dominate, as it's an extension of how they see the rest of the world. Yeah, I mean it's great. I enjoy getting yeah. I don't it's yeah. They a lot of them seem to think that because they won the election that they can be like weird now, that people won't call them it. I mean that is the thing about like fascism in general, is that you want to dominate and control everything. Even things that are like by definition not, you are not able to do so. You will lose your mind, finding new targets. r/conservative is great. Why is Reddit losing it? We didn't do this shit when Biden was the president. We didn't brigade. We didn't call for murder. Forget crowd size. New study confirmed the conservatives boast slightly less large amygdalas. Having a large amygdala can be attributed to genes, the environment, or most likely larger proclivity for understanding danger. Liberals don't realize that their hyperbole lead to actual danger for others. I'm confused by this point. Yeah, I guess they're simply highlights the brain's increased sensitivity to issues related to the need for security, reduction of uncertainty. But slightly large, right? Because they're. I mean, that is a perfect like scientific confirmation of the things that I was writing about in relation to fascism. I don't even know if you could make that inference, and I wonder what the study actually says. but that like conservatism and especially fascism is like your self-defense instinct like flaring up extremely strongly. John McTaggart was huge. I don't even know if that's true. I feel like that's probably a silly. But also this reminds me of the that study that conservatives love posting, where it's like the rings, concentric rings, and it's like where you care about what you care about most, whether it's people around you or like people far away, or that's like the misinterpretation of the study. And it showed that conservatives are more selfish, that they care more closely about people in their immediate vicinity than they do about someone, across the world. And I think people on the left care the same amount. And they lost their minds about that as evidence that like the left is evil, which is ironic because it's like it shows that the left has more empathy. I think the general image, and it's a part of like, it's about the furthest extent of their moral circle. Is one of the components that conservatives hate leftists for is that they think that fundamentally a better world isn't possible. And so having people in your circle, in your country, who have empathy and work towards making the world a better place is actually just weakening you to everyone else who is cynical and evil. It's like the survivalist, their image of the world, it's like the survivalist horror thing. And, 5 of the 6 people in your cohort are like, hey, let's not like bring our guns to this other group of people. You say that they're cannibals, but maybe they're friendly, their guns are raised, but like we could, they think that the left is sabotaging them in that way. Although I saw that used as an example of why the left doesn't have empathy. So I think they're just really confused. Like someone in my replies was like, you don't have empathy. And then they posted that study as an example. And it was like, opinion discarded because you care about other people. But it's all very, I mean, I really am getting an overdose of conservative psyche in the last couple months. I guess it's good for writing. I need to get back to writing my newsletter. There's plenty of topics I could come up with in relation to, I guess, what is my research interest now philosophically, my research area, objectively in terms of like what I've published, which is the conservative psyche. I guess that's it. That's the one. That's the thing that I'm maybe not conservative. Maybe fascist is a better like way of specifying that. What makes like a fascist adherent tick? Why are they so insane? I mean, the movement is fairly indistinguishable, yeah. Hence why Trump's approval rating is so low. That app's not as a 4-hour video, Nathan Klein. That's good. I don't even... I assume it's on like it's on quote unquote nuke or whatever. I mean, it's rough. That is the problem with the fact that the selection mechanism for like people who talk about politics is like which one of you can make an epic video about vaping? What else has Ethan Klein done? Like that's the selection mechanism, is like who's most entertaining. And then it leads to people being... Remember that? I love... In grade 7, I thought that was so funny. The Vape Nation thing. And he was fucking vaping. And it was so funny, dude. Vape Nation, classic. Long live the butcher Trump, who works in spite of himself to create the conditions for the proletarian world revolution. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. It's the only thing to feel. The only true revolutionary is Trump. That's a truth nuke. I mean, yeah, he is destroying, like, however much I don't think that this is, like, actually a good avenue. It's the avenue it's the ride we're on. You know, the people who are like, oh, you know, accelerationism isn't good. It's kind of like you took a specific ride at Disney and someone's asking you how the ride is and you're like, well, you know, it kind of sucks, but like there's this component of it at least. And then the response is like, okay, but there are much better rides at Disney. It's like, I know. Look, I don't want to be on this ride, but I'm on it. We're on Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. That's where we are right now. We can talk about the components of it, you know. Going back to, should we watch Vape Nation, folks? Is it still up? I'm sure it's awful. I'm sure it's so not funny.
It's your boy Ethan from H3H3. The sun finally came out. It's a beautiful, nice one.
No, sorry, it wasn't grade 7. It was like the end of high school, not as their own
day
graduation.
here in New York City, and I wanted to show you all at home what I'm about. A little peep into the world of
like maybe the guy who got famous or whatever, is he famous? I don't know. Got internet clout for making videos like this. Shouldn't be the one who like
I am gay.
JC Poirier, thank you.
from H3 Vape Nation, y'all.
I like the IDubbbz. IDubbbz issued an apology that isn't mine to accept because I'm white. But I do like the IDubbbz. You know who actually did this recently is Calvin Guerra. Did you guys see this? Like, he feels extremely bad. He had something where he was watching his old videos and like cringing. I saw that, and he was like, I did the like, you know, super hyper masculine. All right, dude. That's good. I disagree. The super hyper masculine, like shaming trans people who weren't doing that, because in his words he was like repressing feminine component of his you know. So that's a fun, I mean, that's a too little too late situation. I don't know if that's true in the case of IDubbbz. Yeah, this is epic. He looks so silly. Wow.
Today,
I bet this guy has a great opinion about Israel.
I'm on a mission to rip the fattest vape. So I'm headed down to my favorite smoke shop in New York City to vape up.
It is so interesting how like vape started being like a weed thing. And then like a bunch of incredibly, this is maybe not a historically accurate account of this, but this is my impression of it in terms of like culture. A bunch of very evil companies were like, we could put nicotine in this and then sell it to children. And now people don't weed vape that much. Like, it's not a...
Welcome to Vape City, home of the fattest cloud rippers in the world. I'm here to kick it up a notch and become one of the best. Let's check it out. Hey, what's going on?
I remember like weed vapes were like a big thing around here.
Yeah? Heard y'all have vapes here.
Yeah, we do.
Cool, dude. Sick.
It was
I'm
Nick
looking for, like, a
first.
fat,
Okay.
something I can rip.
I feel like culturally, when people found out that it was possible,
fat on. Like
I guess there's still a big thing.
fattest
I feel like
you got
nicotine
here.
vapes are bigger.
Gangs that come like this guy. This, you know, build it by yourself.
So we building the perfect vape for the perfect rip.
Yeah. Exactly.
Far out, dude. Vape Nation.
So what flavor do you like?
Something natural like Mountain Dew flavor, or like, I don't know, Cheetos or something.
We have this one too. It's organic, it's like Lincoln.
Churros.
Yeah.
Organic churro flavor. Shit, that's I'll take that.
He's just doing the weed vape. It's what's funny about it. Is he 27 in this? Wow. Hey, what am I doing with my life? I should be making my own vape niche.
Shit, hell yeah, dude. That's just what I wanted.
Yeah, to get easy, like.
I mean, that's the whole bit. I thought there was something. I guess that was the only funny thing I remember from this, is that there's a shot inside and he's just doing the vape.
Vape Nate.
And it looks silly. Wasn't there? I don't know. It's not, folks. It's not a good selection mechanism. It's not a good selection mechanism for people to talk about politics. Is who can make these sort of videos, but it's the one we have, unfortunately. This isn't funny now that I'm an adult. I know, right? I remember as a child thinking this was funny, but it's nothing has happened. It's not particularly funny. We now live in a vapocracy. I'm sure Trump is gonna. Can we watch? I don't have a vape. I'm not a child anymore. I'm sorry. I do not have one. Actually, I guess I do have a weed vape, but it's Canadian, so it's legal. I went to but I don't really use it. I don't know. It feels like I'm dying when I do it. Like it feels like it's ruining my lungs or something. Not literally, but it feels like it would do that. So I don't really do it that much. Yeah, it's our state mandated vape that Justin Trudeau has instituted. You found out you're a Canadian citizen? Did you move from California to BC? Why not? I guess so. You sure? Yeah. I guess so. Sounds like a good move to make. Thank you, Trudeau, for the free weed. Castro Jr. stepped down. He's still going because there's a leadership election race. Like so there'll be a leadership race for the Liberals, and then sexual. Thank you for the tip too.
I am gay.
Yeah. Tay Swift, thank you for the Prime. Thank you. Thank you to the Swifties for subscribing. If you have a
brown bear?
If you have a Prime, you can use it to subscribe to me. Boog. Thank you. Is there a chance the trade war save? Well, no, Trudeau, it's already over. The question is whether the trade war will save the Liberal Party, because everyone hates. Like the Canadian conservatism is just based on being American conservatism, and everyone hates Trump now. Like the petty bourgeois conservative, like my anecdotal understanding is that like the average Canadian petty bourgeois fascist conspiracy theory person fucking hates Trump because they understand very immediately how much the tariffs would fuck up their businesses. Aster, thank you. And so it's like all of the conservative, I mean, I guess honestly, except like Doug Ford, who's the only conservative who's doing well specifically because of this, because he has his own weird brand of conservatism. But like and I guess like in the Maritimes as well, it's not really Trumpy, for the most part. But everyone else, like Pierre Poilievre, is like, I don't know what the fuck to do here. Because he like speaking out against Trump is kind of not like you're trying to market yourself as the Canadian Trump, right? No, it's the brother of the crack guy. The crack guy, Rob Ford, was the mayor of Toronto. The premier, which is like the governor of Ontario, which is the province. It's like the state. I'm probably not voting in the federal election. I doubt it. I guess we'll see what the polls look like. Yeah, like Danielle Smith, who is the conservative premier of Alberta, has been hanging out with Trump at Mar-a-Lago and like trying to convince him to not do the tariffs. And even she, like when she talks about this, it's clear that she knows Like Trump just wants to annex Canada, I guess. Like the demands aren't actually coherent. But she speaks of it so glibly that it's like, no, like it's clear that people like that. It's the same with the Conservative Party in British Columbia. Like they don't have good political acumen because like even their conservative base is now hates Trump. So speaking positively of Trump, Trudeau, thank you for the 4 months. Speaking positively of Trump is like the worst idea. I think it's a real, especially if the tariffs actually go through, it's a real crisis of identity for the Canadian Conservatives. So I honestly think, especially if it goes through, it's not like they had this election in the bag as like a majority, like not even close. But it kind of has saved the Liberal Party a little bit. Because people don't like Polyev. He has a negative approval rating because he's annoying. He's a little shit. Like he's annoying. No one likes him. Now the NDP are fucked. Singh is also not good, and people don't particularly like him, and he needs to resign. Because there's been this massive drop in liberal approval, and they have done nothing. Like it's all bled over to the Conservatives. And we know that that's not necessarily the case. Because of what was it, 2011 when they were the official opposition? Like, we know that they could be taking advantage of the Liberal Party eating shit. There's a great detail from Rob Ford's old campaign manager that you couldn't meet with the guy in his office because you get distracted playing with his paper shredder. Because you get distracted playing with his paper shredder. City, yeah, it's awesome. He's so awesome. Incredible. I mean, it's barely a social democratic party. Similar election issues in Australia where Conservatives are marketed as Trump Party. Has he talked about Australian tariffs yet? I don't think so. I mean, you guys trade mainly with China, which will be our future now. Because like, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't you? I mean, they want to. I think the Canadian Liberals want to trade with Europe. It's just like I don't know. I guess like the Maritimes, I feel like is a hard. I guess you could, like through the St. Lawrence. I don't know what the trade routes there, the logistics of that are. Maybe Chinese trade is more difficult, especially for anything that isn't British Columbia. Because obviously it's very easy to trade with America because we share a massive fucking land border. You can get out through the Great Lakes, the Atlantic. I guess Europe is probably a more feasible trade route. Prince Rupert is the closest port to China. Oh, I guess so. Yeah. Well, but that's for just British Columbia. Like, what do you do with the goods afterwards? Like, getting them out east is a pain, I think. I guess we got railroads, famously. I built some railroads. So there's like an irony there. There must be some irony there of like white people building railroads in Canada for specifically for Chinese goods. There's some, look at how the turntables. It really makes you think. It's a good look. It's a good century. I just didn't think it would be Chinese. I just didn't think it'd be Chinese. Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. Yeah. I'd be a great influencer, I think. I gotta start. I gotta hit Duolingo. They should Belt and Road us. That would be. I don't know how they would do that. I don't know how they would they would bring Canada into this. But sure, let's do it. Let's get involved. Let's be proactive. Actually, you know what? You know what? You know how we get involved and we be proactive? We trade with Europe. That's what, you just keep going. That's the real answer to... Yeah, like, as if trading with Europe and China are these, like, two antithetical things, I guess. Oh, yeah, Duolingo is not good for language acquisition, yeah. Post to YouTube link, sure. Who do we think wins the next election? It's 103 fever past 6 months. It's entirely possible, folks. It's entirely possible. Wait, why did I close my Twitch dashboard?
I'll show you how much I know you. I'm not even gonna break you. I'm just gonna, set you back a ways.
I am gay.
We know that you've been stashing half your bars.
Thank you.
Which is smart. No law against it. You're gonna get out. You're gonna go overseas, right? Studying up your Mandarin? French. You give him up, or you give us half your stash. You willing to dump your silver in the dirt for Seth?
You gonna kill him?
Not if we can help it. Be too cataclysmic a change for the future. Now, what we'll do is dangerous in that regard, so not as dangerous as killing him. On top of which, a man from the future runs free long enough, his time travel shit just fries your brain like an egg. Why the fuck French?
I'm going to France.
You should go to China.
I'm going to France.
I'm from the future. You should go to China.
I'm going to France.
You're going.
I haven't seen Libra, but the detail of him being from the future and recommending he goes to China is very funny. I'm from the future. You should go to China. It's true. He's right. Jeff Daniels. That's Jeff Daniels, isn't he? From the future is correct. What did they know? Anyway, so we'll see. I mean, look, maybe nothing will happen. We actually go back to Trump 1. They kick out, it's just Trump 1, but he has like much more capacity to overreach and he can just like personally try Stormy Daniels or something, like he can use the FBI to spy on, Rosie O'Donnell. Maybe that's, and it's just basically Trump 1. That's actually still a possibility. Elon leaves in like 2 weeks because the Oval Office isn't big enough for the both of them, or not. I don't know. And he does the thing he did in Trump 1 where he like was like, oh, we should nuke a tornado, and everyone's like, no, and he's like, okay, but maybe not. Maybe this time he'll actually be able to do whatever he wants. 1,000 of USAID employees that are placed on leave on Friday. I'm so curious what their replacement for USAID is going to be. Like, it will, if anything, also just demonstrate how they think about foreign politics or international relations. Because it seems like, as I said before, I think they have Hoi 4 brain, where it's like, I don't care about influencing an area. I want to own it. Like, Greenland is big. I want it to be United States on the map, to make it bigger. If we own Canada, it would make it look like the United States would look bigger. You know, the name on the map would be bigger. It's like map painting. All the like subtleties of like trade and influence and, you know, sway. It's like, no, that's not enough. I need to own it. It's a very like fascist image of politics. So I wonder what the replacement is going to be. Don't siege Greenland, take it immediately. Yeah, we'll see. Replacement for, well, I mean, Elon is doing a fake like the government department is fake. What even is the end game? The end game is to gain as much money as possible. That is what Trump is doing. I mean, he had to run for president, especially because, you know, he saw that he was facing legal troubles, and that was like a pretext to not get tried. Because America is an insane country where the leader can't be tried for a crime, which is insane. It's like James Musk becomes a trillionaire, yeah. Like, situation in 4 years. I don't know. Maybe it's just Bush 2008, like that political environment. Well, the interesting thing about like Canada joining the US is that like it really isn't that crazy of a concept. It's just they did it in the opposite way, which is like you don't, I mean, you could, I guess, there's nothing stopping you, go about it by just invading the country. But what you should do is like a customs union, right? Which, as I understand it, one of the main things blocking that has been, the primary thing blocking that has been the United States. It's weird we don't have a customs union with you guys, given how much Canadians, especially, and Americans who live around the border go up and down it. It's odd that there is like such a, like the border obsession thing is it mainly, yeah, you do it by a bigger NAFTA and then economic integration. But they're doing the opposite of that, because they don't understand how politics works. Really, at some level, it's like it's like you're playing Hoi 4 and you see that you're like, you know, influencing the politics of a nation and sending them infantry equipment, and you're like, I would see, like, why don't I just invade? Like, you know, we had an unstated customs union until 2001, right? Right, there was free travel at some point, but it was America that was the institution that primarily stopped it. It's all those fentanyl cartels in America, yeah. The whatever 0.02% of fentanyl that comes into the U.S. through the Canadian border. If Greenland, Denmark, and the people agree to join the U.S., would that be acceptable? I mean, they wouldn't. I mean, yes, if there was a plebiscite done and everyone in Greenland and Denmark would be a funny one. You know, it's like the Victoria 3 thing when the AI gets weird. It just like owns a little bit of Prussia. But no, the Greenlanders, especially like the people, do not want to do that. It's ironic too because Denmark was offering them concessions to like you can have a military base, you can have resource rights, but Trump doesn't want that. He wants to own it to be a part of U.S. territory. Yeah, it's Andorra should do it. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. US already has a base there. Yeah, like it's It is literally a marketer projection moment, yes. Like, genuinely, he sees how big it is on the map. That isn't like a bake. That is like a... I can't remember the sources for that. But that's a part of it. American conservatives are primed to think of the border as something under siege. Yeah, right. And Canada is one of the big borders. We're not entertaining the ideas Republicans want Greenland Canada for climate crisis issues. I don't think Trump does. I think that's a general tendency for the next couple decades, which is why I think like the likely results politically is that Canada gets at least functionally annexed by the United States. As like the southern parts of the United States become less livable, and areas in the north, even like the north of Canada, like more north than where most people live in Canada, become much more habitable. Like there will be a mass migration upwards, northwards. And at that point, like America is going to want to have more direct control over those areas. Like that is a tendency. But it's not something that Trump is thinking about, I don't think. Like, and again, if you want to go about doing that, you make a customs union. You make it so that American companies can invest like as freely as physically possible into the Canadian economy. Because it's interesting, like the Project 2025 document says that tariffs should be used as a way of producing greater concessions in like Canada and Mexico. I don't know if Canada and Mexico are specifically named, but like among our allies, as it says. And there was an idea that maybe Trump was trying to do that. But then he's not actually asking for anything, especially in relation to Canada. Prezebus, thank you for the prime. Like the current deal that Trudeau has said, oh, we're going to do all this, was actually obviously a deal that he signed with Biden a couple months ago. Like if that leads to the end of the tariffs, then it wasn't for anything. This was just a way of like Trudeau giving Trump an out for the tariffs after he realizes they would be dumb. The guy who died in a Maine shootout's weed website, Donald Trump Weed, is now running a 50% off sale with RIP Steve as the coupon code. Because people were quote tweeting this guy, and he was like, "Oh, trans people exist. It's making me so sad." And then he did like a suicide by cop. Caleb, thank you. The guy who landed on the comet. I don't know what happened there. Wonder what kind of shirt he would wear. That sounds. Thank you for the subscription. I don't know what that's about. Did Trump made seeds legal? Donald Trump's seeds. I can't imagine how fucking awful that weed is. You're growing yourself. Did he live tweet his shootout? And he said about, they tried to take my daughter from me. Sheriff wanted to feel her. They would not leave and sabotage me, and they still tried to take my daughter. I'm sorry for the man who got shot down, but don't try to take people's daughter from them. So he's live. I didn't know about this. I'm not online enough, clearly. Why would you do something trying to take your daughter? Someone who loves my country, loves the Bible, and loves my daughter. who fought for the unborn babies. So he died because of abortion. Years of transgender harassing me and abortion being essentially a sacrament. I have to stand my ground and fight for my religion. Gotta do what you gotta do, man. Gotta do what you gotta do. So transgenders and abortion, I have to suicide by cop. Conservatives when they have to suicide by cop because they're bored. Oh, when he says my daughter, is that a reference to like did someone abort a baby that was like genetically his? No, because he said tried to take my daughter from wanted to feel. Oh my god, and he has a fucking... Is this TOS? I had to do this for the unborn babies. I had to do this because it is either them or me. It's so great, like, especially with reference to the people who were quote tweeting me all day, being like, remember when liberals did it, whatever. It's like, you guys are doing, like every week there is a conservative guy who's like, I have to kill people because they do abortions. Like, it's like so... It's like, remember when you bullied people? It's like, I guess so. I don't...
I'm here. My name is Stephen Regini. I am a resident of Maine, and I had the cops called on me. A SWAT team showed up, and I'm now engaged in a shootout. My state has been the #1 abortion and gay rights state in the entire country.
You can just move.
And I've been segregated against for my beliefs. Now they're trying to arrest me simply because I do not believe in gay rights and abortion, which is the #1 state of Maine right now.
Oh, this guy fucking lost it, dude.
That's what they do. They're an abortion mill. So I'm here. I'm in a shootout with the authorities who are protecting the rights of doctors to murder babies.
I am gay.
And
Nude
protecting
gargoyle,
the
thank
rights
you.
of children to be ripped.
It's like the rad milk guy,
and
yeah.
Killed. I'm here with my baby daughter, who they're also trying to take away. And
so it's like an actual...
I assure you that I am not the
child?
aggressor here. They tried to arrest me.
Like, you're in a shootout and you're like...
tried to tase me. They're trying to make me a criminal. They are trying to get me in trouble. They are trying to take me to jail for a long time for...
Are there concrete details about this?
Getting in an argument with my wife, which was a simple argument.
So it's a domestic... It is like rad milk then. It's like a domestic abuse call.
I've spoke with her since. I love my wife. I love my daughter. I'm so grateful for all Claude has blessed me with. I'm grateful for my...
So he's kidnapped his child because he was in a domestic violence dispute?
Farm. I'm grateful for everything. All my friends and people who love me. And I'm sorry this had to happen.
His wife said he had a mental break.
I really am, but I'm backed into a corner with my political beliefs. I haven't been able to find a job in a year in my entire life.
See, now it's crazy how it took 1 minute and 30 seconds to actually talk about the reason why. You see, like, this type of insane conservative
has been just struggling for existence, fighting Democrats and trying to stand up for my country. Let me ask you, if you're a law enforcement officer, why do you support the COVID vaccines? Why do you support abortion? Why do you support what isn't morally right? How are you fighting for a state system that protects illegal immigrants and pedophiles? Please explain this to me.
They're gonna not, like, conservatives will continue to be this insane, by the way. It doesn't matter how much they win. It's in fact going to make it worse.
Please explain to me why abortion is still legal in my state. Why are the babies dying? Why? Why is this illegal up till the time of conception? That's why I'm fighting. I'm fighting for the babies. I'm fighting...
Doesn't Roe make it so it's only up to the third?
For the unborn, and I'm fighting for righteousness and Christianity to be restored in this country.
It's only the second.
Christ is Lord. God bless. And I'm sorry to you, my parents. I love you, my parents. I love you, my wife. I love you, my daughter.
Up till conception, you're right. Sorry. Yeah. I didn't figure out.
I love all my beloved friends and business partners.
I mean, that's kind of presumably that's what you would want.
And God bless you. Sorry it had to end this way.
Yeah, that's tough. And then and then right before, the only cannabis company that is for we the people. That doesn't make conservative stoners feel inferior. It's all about like grievances, like cultural grievances. I hate smoking weed and thinking that the guy who made this weed hates me. Um I mean, yeah, it's a person. So what happened is he got suicided by cop. What is the actual like preamble story? Um Authorities said Maine police troopers responded to residents on after his 18-year-old wife, Youch, told law enforcement that he had been fighting with her and pushed her into a wall. He was still inside with their 4-week-old daughter through a window and on the telephone and persuaded him to come outside. Resisted arrest and a struggle ensued while law enforcement tried to take him into custody. Businessman shot at officers as he retreated into his home. Attempted to back out of the driveway, grabbed another gun and fired at the cruiser. Struck him in the shoulder. So he was like hitting them. Responded to the scene. Baby was inside the home with him. Jesus Christ. Tried to flee the home in a vehicle. Disabled the vehicle, which prompted Rainey to flee on foot. Oh, so he's cooked. So they pulled the police dog. Shot the dog in the abdomen. Returned fire, and he was shot and killed. I mean, that I feel like if a police dog comes at you, that's like a reasonable. Like he's just gonna. Isn't that like I don't know what is the context of using a police dog here? Look, folks, ACAB, it includes rushed to the emergency veterinary clinic, and he was stabilized, but he died. That's not him. She said he was having some sort of mental breakdown and tried to get him to surrender, and he couldn't do it. Yeah, that's... If the slave owner sends his slaves after me, they deserved it. Is that... Are you saying that I'm saying that? I don't know if that's a... I don't know if you should be comparing those two situations. Yeah, it's very hard to surrender to a angry police dog. I don't know if you want to double down on that analogy. I don't think that one's good. Um um yeah, that's I mean that's just going to happen again and again, I guess. Again, even though they win, they feel bad. The more that they win, they're still going to feel bad. Especially because, like, again, the expectation they have about, like, oh, liberals aren't going to bully us anymore is actually going to be, like, the opposite of true. Like, the gloves are off, buddy. They're not, the libs are not happy at you. Like, they're going to be doing it more now. That's going to make them go more insane as they realize that, like, you can't just win an election and gain cultural hegemony. Especially under, like, what is especially in the future going to be a deeply unpopular president. Are libs capable? Libs are. I don't think the Democrats are, but I think libs are, especially in the cultural sphere. Am I buying Canadian? I mean, not really. I think the Canadian bourgeois class is as evil as the American. Like, oh yay, I can't wait to give Loblaws my money. Thank you for doing price fixing and squeezing the Canadian consumer for as much money for groceries as you can. I'm gonna buy Chinese. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't think that's possible, feasible at the moment. Yup. I did say this. If I can buy a Chinese EV at market price, I will. That's a promise. I will absolutely, because they're cooking over there. Their EVs are quite good. Like that's the only protection for the American electric vehicle market has been like really sharp tariffs. Revolutionary Communist Party. Are those is that the one that they have all the abuse allegations? Or am I thinking of another one? Or is this one is more obscure than that one? Oh, they're the Trots? Because there's the one with the abuse allegations, and then there's the Trotskyists. It's a newish one. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's more that doesn't narrow it down, I guess. They're like Bob Avakian. Oh, well. Are they're an extension of Avakian stuff? I wouldn't involve myself with them if that's the case. RCV is frequently described as a cult around Avakian. If it is Avakian connected, yeah, I wouldn't involve myself in. Caleb, thank you.
No, it is a fine century. I just didn't think it would be Chinese.
I love that original video so much. I think it would be Chinese.
Oh. No, it's fine. I just didn't think it would be Chinese at all.
When you for the NYC DSA and their singles nights, their Thoughts and Trots singles night. Yeah, that was great. That was great stuff, guys. Really hitting the ground running here. What's the worry with Avakian? Are they being a bit culty? I feel like that's an intrinsic worry that extends any sort of power abuse. That logically follows any sort of power abuse. Like that's kind of the problem with anything that is described as culty. As you recruit a bunch of people who are like really worried and they're told that like, oh, this is, you can't start your own org. These are the orgs that exist. And then you treat them like poorly. And it's like, well, you're going to oppose our organization? Like we're doing revolutionary communism, And then you get in this weird like loop where people are like abused and they feel like they are unable to say anything about it because they're convinced that like the things that they're doing in the war are so important that bringing it up would sabotage, it's like that sort of thing. It's the problem. Anyway, what else is going on? You should subscribe if you want to give me money. We have lots of cool emotes and stuff. Oh, pre-roll. Are my ads automatically running? Maybe I should turn that off. This must have been our Trotsky file. That's so true. Have you seen this video of Avakianites challenging Hassan to debate? I haven't. That's great.
Why is Hassan Piker such a crusty reformist? Why does he have the intellectual
That's a truth, Nick.
integrity of Alex Jones? Why is he doing the
This is awesome. 1.2 thousand views.
work of this system? Let's get into
Cannon,
it.
thank you.
When he's not playing video games and shilling for the left wing of the Democratic Party, you might catch so-called socialist Hassan Piker attacking real revolutionaries and joining the chorus of haters, from the Daily Beast and the Intercept to the straight-up fascist Daily Caller and Law Enforcement Today, in a smear campaign against Bob Avakian and the Revcoms. This dude literally spent 50...
This is so awesome. This is awesome. Because you can see, like, look, they got the industry standard. They have the bookshelf in the back. It's like when I see, who's that, like, people call her, like, the female Ben Shapiro. She had that Daily Wire show. I guess she got kicked off of it. And it's so clear that they looked at Hassan and they were like, kids like this. Like, we did this. Let's just do this. Like, Brett Cooper, yeah. Let's just, I don't know. This is what the kids like. This is great. This is awesome.
15 minutes regurgitating lies and slander about us that some random internet trolls put in the chat on his Twitch stream. Here's how it started.
The reality is, like, people feel this way. They feel this way. They see this. They're angry about this. They're apparently part of a cult, unfortunately. Wait, really? What fucking cult? Hey, I see a lot of... Oh, they are a cult? Hey, I see a lot of friends rise up for abortion rights. They are not friends. They are an anti-trans hate group.
Hassan doesn't play fucking video games.
Hey, you, Caleb. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Being led by a white male cult leader? What the fuck? Oh, they're fucking Revcom. God damn it. How? How does Bob Avakian pull this shit off, dude?
You can't keep getting away with it.
Son? You're looking kind of...
You're doing... Sorry, in 2022, you're asking him if he's triggered?
Shook, man.
You shook? You know, this is great. Because again, this is how, like, a left-wing cult functions in terms of its logic, is like, look, we're a big org, relatively speaking. Like, anyone who speaks against us is like doing... That was what the Canadian Communist Party did when there was like discussions of like sexual abuse. Was like, this is a color revolution.
He was so excited about the message from these young abortion...
It's different than... Like, the far left is different than the far right. Because in the far right, it's an attack against, like, the leader. I mean, in Avakian, you still kind of get this, but fundamentally, it's attack on the left. It's an attack against the cause. We have this cause that unifies our egoisms and our interests, and interests of, like, everyone. And anyone who opposes the cause for whatever reason is unified in being reactionary. And then on the right, it's like, we are unified by the leader image. Anyone who attacks the leader goes against their interests. That's like the distinction of identification in a right versus a left.
Rights activists, till some haters told him a scary communist cult was secretly behind it all. White male leader? Give me a break. You follow Bernie fucking Sanders. Your beef with Bob Avakian is that he's a revolutionary communist leader, and you hate revolution more than you hate this system. As for the accusations of...
This is so awkward, dude. This is awesome. For real, no cap. I'm starting to think that you are low-key not a real communist.
Anti-trans, pyramid scheme, or the idea that Rise Up for Abortion Rights is being led by Bob Avakian. All this is just made-up garbage designed to attack revolutionaries and keep people out of the streets at a moment when we need to be raising hell.
Violet, thank you.
And it's been thoroughly refuted at riseupforabortionrights.org, revcom.us, and right here on the Revolution Nothing Less show.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're saying it's not true.
For anyone who wants to
he does sound like slam poetry. Like, it's
the
sincere.
bare minimum investigation. But that's not what Hassan is about. Why investigate and fact check when you can just amplify random lies that fly across your computer screen? Watch this.
The RCP is often referred to as a communist doomsday cult that's obsessed with Avakian. Its mysterious leader and hastens on to a final emancipation of humanity through a populist revolution.
Speaking of doomsday cult.
Sorry, what did he flip
final
to?
emancipation of humanity through a populist revolution.
While Avakian remains hidden, RCP's members have uprooted their lives in service of the revolution by chasing populist outreach. RCP members moved en masse to Los Angeles, putting a wanted ad in its only... Quote, if in the flames of the LA rebellion you see the first light of a whole new world, then this call is to you. You should be in LA and you should get down with, work with, live and fight the powers.
Why don't you come debate me on my hot mouth? Grab me by my tight waist and debate me like a man? Why won't you do that, Hassan?
And Hassan never answered.
Doomsday cult. What do you call it when capitalism is literally destroying the planet and you're so enslaved to the system that all you can imagine doing is trying to push the Democrats a little bit to the left while you talk shit about revolutionaries?
Truth New
Let's
York.
watch Hassan promote some more random anonymous accusations as if they're true.
I went to a protest Friday and there was 100% a RevCom guy, or he was a cop. I don't know. Same difference sometimes. He was trying to fight the crowd because we weren't smashing windows and starting fires.
Okay, at this point, Hassan is showing he has about as much
It is interesting that it's like they don't actually show any of the like the concrete
respect
shit.
for the truth as Alex Jones or QAnon, promoting conspiracy.
So it's the thing that they show is a vague thing of him reading off someone calling a doomsday cult, and then it's a chatter.
Theories because they suit his political objectives, in this case, attacking revolutionaries. Even worse, he's falsely accusing us of committing crimes, thereby inviting the state into investigation. How ironic that in
That's
the same
true.
breath, he accuses us of being police and feds. But here's another irony. Besides spreading gossip, rumors, and baseless accusations, one of the main tactics of the FBI in their effort to foment division within movements of resistance and to frame and even murder revolutionary leaders is snitch jacketing, spreading false accusations that people are cops and feds. What Hassan is doing is libelous, it's dangerous.
Isn't he? Is the irony there that he's calling Hassan a fed now?
And it's doing the work of this system, whether he's conscious of it or not. As for Hassan's insinuation, which he repeats multiple times, that the RevComs are provocateurs trying to start violence in the name of revolution, unlike you, Hassan, we're serious about an actual revolution. That's why the revolution clubs have points of attention that we uphold, live by, and fight for. Point of attention number 6 says this. We're going for an actual overthrow and a whole better way beyond the destructive, vicious conflicts of...
I mean, it's so... The 1,200 views is so awesome. But what is the deal with you guys referring to that one guy Rob all the time? Seems a bit weird. I don't know about Rob, but we do reference Bob Avakian because he's a revolutionary leader who developed a whole new framework of communism. Watch his speeches. It's still a way to criticize something as significant without engaging it. That is a good also image of like cultish component that like no one else gives a fuck about your guy except people specifically like in the org.
Today between the people. Because we are serious, at this stage we do not initiate violence. And
like you don't see any like Marxist political thought that's like we borrow heavily from Avakian and we're not in this.
All violence against the people and among the people. We have a strategy for revolution. Have you read it, Hassan? Matter of fact, have you read anything from Bob Avakian and the RevComs?
Get his ass.
Quit spreading bullshit. But let's get to the heart of the matter. Let's get to what all this bullshit is in service of.
How about we enter into the fucking Democratic Party?
Enter into the fucking Democratic Party.
But not with these guys.
Okay, thanks for clarifying. You don't think people should enter into righteous struggles and bring people a revolutionary understanding. You think people should channel their rage into the killing confines of the Democratic Party. The same Democratic Party that commits monstrous war crimes, backs coups and assassinations and murderous death squads all over the world. That spent decades capitulating and conceding to the assault on abortion rights and did nothing to codify Roe v. Wade when they could have. The same Democratic Party that deports as many migrants as the fascist Republic.
Or also, sorry, I didn't think about this. Him saying that it's debunked that they're unrelated to Rise Up for abortion rights, which my understanding is that they're like a Fed thing. Like it's like a like they're like sabotaging the pro-life movement. They cite like both their own writing and then Rise Up for abortion rights as like the two things that are like, no, look, those two things are unrelated.
Or more.
As you can see.
Consistently backs the police up when they murder black people. The same Democratic Party that talks about climate leadership while they ramp up fossil fuel production.
Yeah, but we could change the Democrats, right?
Bob Avakian has something to say about that.
Wow, of course he does.
If you try to make the Democrats be what they are not and never will be, you will end up being more like what the Democrats actually are.
It is weird. It is weird. Like, I'm surprised that even in this video, it looks like a cult.
Baba Vaki.
Yeah, they're literally, it's like a fucking Bible verse, dude.
Basic.
If you try to make the Democrats be what they are not and never will be, you will end up being more like what the Democrats actually are.
312.
And now,
Basics 312, like it's a fucking like Luke.
now we get to the icing on the cake. When you're too cowardly to take on our
Yeah, it's not
actual
good, dude.
positions, and you have no
not good,
evidence
man.
to back up your rumors and lies, one thing you can always rely on is name calling.
Oh my God, Revcom. If you've ever attended a protest and you see some of the crustiest motherfuckers on the planet literally trying to subvert the protest and like acting like they run the show and immediately being like, it's not enough, what's happening at this protest is not enough, and now this protest is like officially a communist protest, revolution now, one of those type beats, those are the Revcom dudes, okay? You can spot them because they look crusty as a motherfucker, okay?
Crusty? You want to call us crusty? What could be crustier than trying to reform this rotten capitalist imperialist system?
You guys are not good at this, man. That is another thing about like, I mean, I guess a good explanation of why these sort of cults are so unproductive is that it's
And
like
joining one of the parties of that system's ruling class. And
you're so focused around promoting like the idea and the image of like the leader.
calling that social.
Hey, sir, thank you for the 2-1. That it actually like sabotages anything that you're a part of.
Wrapping this up, Hassan, man, I gotta say,
Man,
this was a sorry ass performance.
are they laughing at
Man,
him? I
gotta
don't
say-
understand. Like this is their attempt at being like him.
This was a sorry ass
And they
performance on your
understand.
part. I want the 15 minutes of my life back that I spent watching this trash. But since that's not gonna happen, here's a challenge for you. If you're
Okay,
not a
man.
complete coward
Uh-huh.
and you have a shred of intellectual integrity,
Uh-huh.
have us on your show.
Let's
Or
go.
better yet, come on the RNL show. Let's debate democratic socialism versus revolutionary communism. Rules are no rumor mongering, ad hominem attacks, or baseless accusations. Just real talk about questions that matter.
We're just gonna debate theory. This is awesome. So these like well, I guess they're doing a bit. Their most viewed video.
Oh, it's okay. I'm
Todd
transgender.
Coward, thank
Oh,
you.
I had no idea. Do whatever you want all
Thank you.
the
Thank
time.
you for the 5 gift subs. It's appreciated. No, these look like they're all very boring. QA Refcom episode? I mean, yeah, that would be funny. I don't know if there's enough for it. These sort of things are I was wondering. Anything about the abortion stuff? No, I don't think so. That's very funny. Thank you for linking that. What did the Trump biopic? I don't think so. Is it new? He has televangelist face. Televangelist phenotype. It's like the left-wing version of going into one of those like Christian cults. You can't be anti-democrat without pledging your allegiance to Baba Vaki, and that's a truth, Nuke. Yeah, it is interesting how like the Tizon derangement syndrome stuff, how much people have lost their mind about him. I guess Ethan Klein is a good recent example of that. I guess it's good publicity for, especially because most of it is very silly. It's like very good publicity. I mean, if there's any way of doing outreach like that, Hassan strikes me as someone who is trying to like be not a lib whisperer, but to like, what am I grabbing? Nothing. It's materializing out of thin air. It's a ghost. Oh, you can see it now. Opening the ghost. I just like it's like an ADHD thing. What could be crustier than supporting the Democrats? Exactly. No cough. Yeah, exactly. It is like it's a similar, I guess you're right. It is a similar sort of, I shouldn't be doing that then. That's not good for some of you freaks. There's some of you, there's something wrong with you guys. Some of you, not all of you. That's not the folder. Hawk to Avakian. That's what they need, that's what Hawk to needs to do, the Haley Welch lady. Look, she needs to branch out, and so does Bob Avakian. What else is going on, chat? What other things are happening? To quote from Hawkonomics 312, her next podcast episode will be Avakian. That is so revealing too about the we're not a cult thing. Is there's no actual response to allegations other than look, this has been thoroughly debunked. Here's a quote from Bob Avakian that perfectly represents what's going on here. I'm sorry, unless you have Marx influence, Marx level philosophical influence, you can't drop that without it looking very bad. I pet the lizard, folks. Oh, this is a great image. This is awesome. He's doing great. I thought he was ditching his son the spray tan. I guess not. They're doing great. I love America. He looks like a Balatro Joker. He does. Orange Man. What would Trump be as a Joker? You get a small loan of $1 million. I'm so glad America isn't real. He looks like he's in the middle of being consumed by the worm. Like the Leto God Emperor worm. The El Salvador prison deal is horrifying. I mean, they are just doing concentration camps. That's what they are. They're doing it. The Dems failed to close Guantanamo. And this is the consequence of that. I mean, it's in part a consequence of that. 7:45 for more RevCom. Oh, I don't want to watch Channel 5. We're not watching videos of rapists. I mean, we probably are at some point. But no, I don't like this guy. But thank you. Fair enough, yeah. France got somatic all the concert. I mean, it is. We had this, and there was so much of this debate in the first Trump admin. It's kind of depressing that it's not happening yet. Where it's actually, it's not a concentration camp. It's just a camp where people are concentrated. Maybe that was I hallucinating that, and that was a debate with Democrats? That's a very depressing thought, but it's very possible. It's very possible that both sides had both sides did that defense. Cuba can't legally do anything about it? I mean, them in what army? What can they, what would they do about it? It's something we're finding out about American politics is it's not about what is legal. It's what can you stop them from doing? And it turns out that that's a very different thing. As obsessed immigration as the USA. Oh yeah, we're cooked here too. Um, it's weird. It's like the Canadian right and the American right have communicated on this, and so like a lot of immigrants in Canada in recent years are from South Asia, and so there's this thing of like, oh, you know, Timmy's is now run by Indian people, and that's like the main. And Trudeau, because of how unpopular immigration has gotten, I think he reversed a lot of like student work visas, and in the next couple of years, Canada will decrease in population because we're not letting enough people in, which should be good for the economy probably. Like this guy, like I'm Canadian, and then this guy's like, "Oh, you're Indian." Makes you think. I mean, you're just telling me now for the first time. It's okay. It's fine. I just didn't expect to be Indian. I just didn't expect to be Indian. I'm not complaining. Economies love low populations, especially when the countries around them are increasing in population. Yeah, that seems like a broader cultural political trend over the past half a decade in North America, longer in Europe. Thinking about Canada being Anschluss, does the Austrians want it to be Anschluss? I guess so. Although that was still done by force. Yeah, I guess the plebiscite was... There was a plebiscite for it, but the plebiscite, they annexed it beforehand. That's what happened. Anschluss referendum. Oh, but this one was fake, wasn't it? It was held after the fact. I don't know. What is the consensus about how many Austrians want it to be? Because I guess Austrofascism at that point had kind of failed. Like a specific right-wing Austrian nationalism. It was fairly weak. I don't know what the belief is about how fond people generally were of that. I will say it does just strike me like the Austrian fascism seems probably more like what's gonna happen in America, which is just incredibly ineffectual and incompetent, and produces like a completely non-functioning government. I wonder what the data is on that. I don't know if anyone knows about that. Accelerationists are reading. We are now all accelerationists. Frankly, I don't think people in the West have a comprehensive idea at all what Indian South Asian culture is like. Unique sense to things like film, despite having a giant industry. Yeah, I mean, that is one tweet I saw about how like white people are bad at being racist. Like they're still using they're, you know, the example was like you're using like a mock Cantonese argument for someone who grew up in Beijing. Like everyone else is good at being racist against like American in like a much more accurate way. There's like a white hubris. I mean, this even extends, I guess, like when you ask like Southern, you know, Eastern European about their neighbors, they have this like long, elaborate pseudo-historical image. But there's something about, especially I think American and Canadian, like white people, where you have this weird kind of recently synthesized culture that they're just lazy. they're lazy at doing racism. Um, Somebody saying on Twitter black people are better at being racist. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I guess maybe you mean. No, I honestly I think there's still the same hubris in terms of like those debates. Obviously, with the caveat that white people are generally much more racist. That was weird with the smell lady where she had to apologize for like getting mad at someone for saying that Indians smell bad because it was a black woman. I guess I didn't see much. I didn't see enough about that I can be talking about it, I guess. But it seemed like a very silly. It seemed like a very silly Twitter thing. Ali Luke, whatever. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't apologize in cases like that where it's like someone who's, even if you're doing something that's like maybe slightly wrong or slightly like, oh, why are you targeting? When the people who are mad at you are much worse than you and are mad because you're calling out like their race, you know, it's conceding is never the answer in that case. Calm like a Tom, thank you. See white Americans adopting Hindutva fascism? That would be quite the synthesis. That would be quite the synthesis. I was thinking with that in relation to like white Southerners becoming Muslim. Oh shit!
I had no idea.
Come like a Tom.
Do
Thank
whatever
you.
you want all the time.
Thank you for the 20 subs. We love to see it. Thank you. Wow, everyone say thank you. What were we talking about? We love to see it. Oh yeah, southern like United States Americans like becoming Muslim. Because there was some weird moment like when the Taliban were like officially when after the US withdrawal and the Taliban were taking over Afghanistan, were like the Nick Fuentes of the world were like, these guys are based. Like we actually kind of don't disagree with them. So I wonder if like the end of, I mean obviously there wouldn't be actually conversions. I mean I guess there could be conversions, I guess, I don't know. Like the end of American neoconservatism, if that's like a legible political movement here of actually marginalizing the neocons and supporting whatever weird, like vulgar, bellicose, like Trumpist foreign policy. Whether like that antipathy will go away, I don't know. Probably not. It's the thing with like neocons being marginalized. It's like they're never actually fully, like they sort of are, but then not completely. They're jonesing. Evangelicals are jonesing to do like Mormonism for Islam. Like that's the real, final, complete American religion. It's not Mormonism. It's like one where like Muhammad grew up in New Jersey or something. What is like in terms of like the Arab world, like what is the like Arabia equivalent? Like the Gulf state area equivalent in the United States? I don't know. I'm trying to think of where Allah would put Muhammad if it was in America. It'd be Missouri. I guess that makes sense. I think that works. God putting Muhammad in Missouri to like elevate the white people there to sapience. I see that. Come like a Tom. Thank you again.
I'm gay.
It's a classic. I love that. Love that sound. Thank you. Protestantism is the ultimate American religion. I think American Protestantism is also just like something else. It's weird and new. It's a good name. American Mao from Indiana. I see that. That makes sense to me. That is exactly what you thought it is. That is a real soundbite, to be clear. That is not AI. Thank you for the donation. So everyone can hear. Joe Biden confessing. Anyway, what else is going on other than white American Islam? I actually can't remember. He's like quoting someone coming out to their parents and it being good. I think that's the actual context. Not to ruin it. Not to ruin the image of gay Joe Biden. He's a Florida man. He would be a Florida man, actually. Yes, that would be it. We're still talking about big balls. I guess we weren't. We haven't started talking about big balls. All the insane like Zoomers that Elon Musk has put in charge of doing as much like white collar crime as they're allowed as possible. American Stalin from Puerto Rico, that works. Oh no, that's like I think American Napoleon is from Puerto Rico. And he's initially a Puerto Rican like nationalist, but then he decides to become an American one. It's like a perfect
A brown bear?
Krusty, thank you. It's like a perfect parallel. No, there's Big Balls. That's one of the guys. That's one of the broccoli hair Zoomers. American Hitler, on the other hand, is Quebecois, I think. And that's after the annexation. Or Albertan. Like, it's American Hitler is an Albertan who gains American citizenship when he's like 15. Like, what, growing up, and then wants to annex Alberta. I think that's it. I think that fits better. Yeah, born in Edmonton, thinks it's a liberal hellhole. Only take Alberta, that's fine. Yeah, I can't imagine the guy who started the Doge meme. Like, he never knew that his dog would be like the 21st century equivalent of the swastika. He was like, it's epic meme with my silly Shiba Inu. And it's like 30 years later, and there's like the like, you know, that like Mussolini's like fascist intelligence agency that's got his face on it, and then it's like yes, 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 yes. The American equivalent of that is it's the, you know, yes, yeah, and then it's Doge. Whatever, like secret, you know, secret police building. Palazzo Bracci. It's this, but it's Doge. I should make a I should do a scene for like, you know, like this. But it's like my face is cut out in this. That would be funny to construct. It says live. What else is going on? What else is happening, chat? It's not as if there isn't, there's plenty of stuff happening. Sallow, the 120 Days of Agar. How am I going to devise animals to face the fascist movement? It's entirely possible. Luca to the Lakers. I still, it's hard for me to comprehend that happened. I don't actually understand how you can explain why that trade goes under advice unless it's like literally fraud. Democrats, I mean, they can't stop scolding. The thing that's interesting about these types is that, like, they're so obsessed with optics and, like, messaging and how popular messaging is, except for when they can scold someone who doesn't vote Democrat, because they know that this language doesn't fucking work. If it worked, it would have worked by now. People aren't convinced by this. And yet they can't stop themselves. They can't help it. They can't help but abandon all of that when it comes to, like, scolding the left. It's a rights to build a casino in Texas. They're trying to leverage the Mavs against the state. Oh, they want it to go to Las Vegas? Is that the idea? Because I heard that big. That they want the Mavs to go to Las Vegas and then, right. I mean, there has to be something because it's genuine. They just destroyed the team. Like, actually, I'd be like, if that was my team, I'd be so mad. Because it's like the team is fucked for the next decade, right? It's like a first round pick in 2029, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Like, they're cooked, right? Like, am I crazy? It's like a team. Anthony Davis, yeah. The Luka Trade Netflix documentary. It's just an entire documentary of a tall Slovenian man on a bus, just like being sad. It's just a shot of him like just kind of looking sad as he is transported to like a much nicer place to live. No, Mark left, didn't he? Because I know Mark Cuban has once said that he would rather divorce his wife than give up Luka. He sold the team, yeah. No, Cuban would never allow this. He's too good of a businessman. That is like, Cuban is like the lib Trump. He's a minority owner, right? Okay. He sold like his majority stake though. He was speechless. I mean, yeah, that's like, he definitely fell to his knees at a Walmart. Preston Jacobs shared on Sunday about, yeah, there's the I saw my Fire YouTuber. Said on Sunday about all of USAID pals think they're gonna lose their jobs. I mean, probably. I think they're just gonna gut the department fully. Damn, poor Preston. It's Song of Ice. I watched their Song of Ice and Fire videos. That was, you know who, I don't know if he watches the stream. He's commented on YouTube videos though. Is Glidus of me. Shout out Glidus. I've been watching him for a while. It's funny. It's funny when someone like that knows that I exist. It's like, really? Oh fuck. Okay. Shout out to Glidus. I gotta watch this one. The Glidus Alt Shift X videos are like, the live streams are very fun. I've watched a lot of them. Slovenia is a goat sports country. Yeah, it's funny. Also influencing America through the Baron Trump, the new future God Emperor. I wonder what Baron Trump, his psyche is like. Like, as he must know about all the right-wing memes about how he's like, you know, he's a genius who is like going to, you know, fulfill his father's legacy. He watches Aiden Ross. Is that true? Is that or is that like posted by like the like AF post? You know, like the fake. Is he a kick guy? That's okay. Yeah. That's great. Oh, he was the link up. Oh, that's so funny. He's cooked then. His brain must be so cooked. So he recommended Aiden Ross and the Nelk Boys to Trump. Okay. Yeah, no, we're cooked. It's so funny that it's Barron and not, yeah, like, has anyone talked about Don Jr.? Like, no one gives a fuck. It's like, okay, there's this guy who isn't a weird, like, freak. You get the name. It's so funny to get your father's name and not his approval. Like, that's so tough. And then Eric as well. Like, the only one he actually likes is Kushner, who's his son-in-law. I don't know. I'm sure. There's no way. Like, Baron's brain has to be ruined, I guess. But having Donald Trump and then a Slovenian mother, like that's your parenting duo. Like the neuroses, they're inventing a new type of, like he's a new type of guy, neurotically speaking. Um, Trump said he didn't want him to be called Baron because what if he's a loser? That's awesome. You won't have a diagnosis till the DSM-7. The gold spoon comment was fake. That was one of the AF post like LARPs. Because that's Twitter now is just there's no fucking just anyone has a blue check, you know. He might just be Paul Atreides. It's entirely possible. Could be worse than Slovenian, could be Portuguese. Is that worse? I guess that's more Catholic. That's accurate, right? That's an accurate observation. They're more Catholic. The discourse about Melania is also very funny. Like the back and forth about like, oh, she's so girl boss. She clearly hates him. And then it's like, well, yes, but she's also still like she's still clearly an evil person. I wonder how mad she is that he's the president again. Um, like, wasn't there some rumor that he like they weren't living together and that she had like a guy she was like having an affair with in Trump Tower? They gotta be mad as hell. They put that on pause. He was about to go to jail. She was about to be off the hook. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more cooked Barron clearly is psychically. They're pulling on Trump's Gaza proposal. Oh, is it -80 or something? Wait. Oh, it's +80. Oh, it's Israeli. Sorry. That's it's I didn't see 80 to be clear. It's +80 among Israelis. Of course it is. Yeah, that makes sense to me. What's the American polling? That's what I want to know. That is the thing, like, it's very clear that states around Palestine don't have any interest. They view Palestinians as a security threat. Like they're the same security apparatus that Israel had. Like they're connected. Like Egypt warned Israel about October 7th before it happened. Like no one, they don't want to. Like it's just not a feasible plan practically. And it's not really as if like Israel is winning the war. That's the like pathetic thing about the IDF is like Hamas is still like an organized like they're doing like military drills above ground. Like they're still organized and capable of fighting. Yeah, I want to see the American approval of it because I can't imagine it's very high. I think Jordan or Egypt are the only feasible answers, and Egypt is clearly the most. But I don't think that they would ever agree to that. Like I can't imagine the circumstances. What am I holding? I don't know. I'm just fiddling with stuff. It's like a glasses cleaner. Oh, did you guys see that? I'm on Wikipedia now. Did I talk? I didn't talk about this on stream. For for heterochromia. This is central heterochromia. Two colors in the same iris. This is my eye. You can't really see, but it's like blue and brown. Did I show this on stream? Oh, okay. I can't remember anything that I do. I'm heterosexual canonically. It is. I didn't know that I was good at taking Wikipedia photos, but I mean, if you look, it's like, look, Liv Agar. That's not called Hazel, no. Hazel is brown and green. My understanding is that genetically it's different. Like genetically I have blue eyes, but then I have the weird heterochromia thing. Some people just call that Hazel. It's funny, I have green on my ID because sometimes it appears blue, sometimes it appears brown, and sometimes it appears green. When is the ad break? I'm not doing them anymore because I don't need to. They don't have the thing, but I'm gonna stop soon, Kate. I'm sorry. This wasn't meant to be a long stream. It's also separate, I think. I don't understand the difference. Like this is its own color, and they're separate. You can't really see it. Like I can't see what it. Why are you all saying glorp? That's a fun fact. Now you're all saying it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. If that, I never know what's. Well, there you go. Makes you think. It's. I like that the title of it is Liv Agar Central Heterochromia. Oh, you can't see. I cut off the glorp. Makes you think. The Wikipedia thing was a Biden moment, was it? Wait, what did I say? What did I do? Soft come up for amphetamine use. Look at the pupil. Look, I tried to. I guess that is a pretty small. This is the only way you can really see it. I feel like you can make your pupil do this if you just like stare hard enough. I also like. I took like 4 different photos where my flash was just like. So that I could like see it, which was very not a good idea. You should not. I don't recommend. I just don't. I don't want it to people. No, I wanted to ask people what my eye color was. I wanted to know. Making yourself blind for Wikipedia. Look, I'm already blind. My glasses. They're very. There's 2 of me because it's so. It's real. The vision's real bad. My optometrist says I should go like regularly to make sure there's no like tearing at the back of my eyes. It's like -6 or something. I have jinkies. That's what I'm saying. It's like at the back of my retina. It's not that. Yeah, I can see functionally. Like glasses exist, and I have 20/20 vision, but it's not like at that level. It's worse than anyone in my family though, which is a good sign probably. Like it's clearly from my dad's side. Like both my dad and my dad's dad wanted to be pilots, and they're like, "No, you can't with those eyes. Not with those eyes, buddy." Um, but it's worse than like my more blind than my dad is. So choosing not to get laser, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not a fan of risky surgeries, especially when it's just like I'm fine with. I like wearing glasses. Glasses suit me. They're also just getting worse. So like, if they continue to get worse, then it's like, yeah, I don't. The concept of LASIK is terrifying to me. I've never been too. I've never been too enticed by that. Yeah, if I were to get a risky surgery with and that would have an effect on my life, it wouldn't be that one. That's another thing about like regret rate of like any like risky surgery is that like the less you need it, the higher the regret rate is. Because if you're just like whatever, then it's like, oh yeah, your life is hell for 6 months before you can get a revision, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. But if you're like, no, I fucking need this surgery, then you're like, oh well, this is still better than the alternative. BBLs being dangerous is why. I mean, it makes sense because there's no like you can't do them in America, right? Like that's why they're called BBLs. Because like there isn't much there aren't many blood vessels in your butt. So if you put more fat there, there's a possibility that it'll like get all decroded, to use a fake word, a fake Northern Line word. You knew it in Florida? That's awesome. That's so funny. Why not? Sure. It's a real word, but it's not very used. Decroded. I don't think so. I actually don't think it's a real word. No, I'm doubling down. It's like I think it is fake. Is it a no, it's a Napoleon Dynamite word. That's where it comes from. It's not Northern Lion. Yeah, I don't think things in America. Trump is gonna make BBLs legal. Trump is gonna legalize BBLs. It's crime season. It's funny that it's a load-bearing part of his vocab. It is. What was that thing that the lady tweeted? Like, I dreamed I got bottom surgery from Northern Line and he fucked it up. And then he told me, no, your shit's all decroded down there. California will give trans women BBLs on Medicaid. Is this true? I love wokeness. Wokeness is so beautiful. Um, the Swedish school shooter versus the BBC headline. Yeah, or it's cooked. It's cooked, folks. Journalism is over. How many letters? What does that mean? What letters are we talking about here? Yeah, that one's bad. How many clapback tweets until we win? One more. I think one more. It specifically has to be a tweet about how it's minorities' fault for voting slightly less Democrat favored than they used to. The thing about the midterms is that, like, presumably, if there are midterms, which there probably will be, you know, you got to say that though, so you're not owned in the 1 in 100 chance that something happens. The like the Republicans will be fucked. Like they're going to have a negative swing against them, and they'll probably keep the Senate. I think it's like statistically very difficult, but like the House, they surely will not retain. Which like despite the Democrats like doing absolutely nothing, it really is like I mean, I guess not. Like Trump is doing this without the House or the Senate. All the shit he's doing without the House or the Senate. So I guess there's just no rules anymore. It's crime season. They're just, yeah, I don't like. It turns out the Constitution wasn't real. Yeah, Senate isn't position well unless it's like insane. But it seems like the House will probably flip. It's not good, folks. But it hasn't even been a month yet. It has not been a month yet, folks. It's another 4 years. That is the one thing the conservatives have, is they're owning the libs. That's the one, they've got that. And they will treasure it despite the fact, you know, it's rich people, oligarchs, stripping the country for copper wiring, taking everything that they can for themselves and fucking you over. You will have the fact you own the libs. The libs are very upset about this. They will hold on to it. The General Mark Milley speech last year? I don't think so. That's the one that they always say is like gay and trans. Because he was like, yeah, I'll read Mao. I'll see what Mao is up to. I'm familiar. And they're like, he's chopped off his penis. And he has blue hair and pronouns. How far is it Trump? The idea, thinking about how unpopular, like scientists conjuring in a lab the least popular president of all time is like, you know, 2027 J.D. Vance. Oh yeah, Netanyahu gave Trump a golden pager. It's great. It's epic, epic win. Epic fascism win. Picture your karma, thank you. Yeah, they did a poll of Vance versus Kamala. And you know, there's like a 2% possible, but like Kamala won like 400 electoral points in that poll. It was like so like people do not fucking like Vance. Pleasant surprise. Oh, well, thank you, Isaac. I do stream. Where's everyone coming from? What's happening? I stream on Twitch sometimes. You should follow and subscribe. We have cool emotes like the little lizard who's dancing. Oh, his Han ended. Makes you think. Makes you think. We were watching that video of the Rev, like Baba Vacay and Revcoms calling him out. But for real, Hassan, no cap, you are totally a reformist Democrat. It was great. I liked it. They were cooking. They got his ass. No evidence that Trump poll outperformance translates to other Dems. The Trump poll outperformance. Like, which outperformance? Mike may I mention this morning? Oh, thanks. Shout out to Mike. Should stick around and watch. We're just hanging out. I'm trying this thing where I just talk constantly instead of reacting. There's something in the bottom right. He's just hanging out. Pet the lizard. I should make that a reward so you pay me money to do it. Because I am just a circus animal at the end of the day. You redeemed the Massive Lizard Award, so you can. He's just hanging out. He's doing a lot of things for the stream. He's like Ratatouille, but he's doing it psychically. He also, as I mentioned before, is like it's like a God Emperor, like Warhammer 30K God Emperor thing, where like he individually is psychically holding up all planes when they fly. Like, when a plane knows where it is, it's because it's in reference to the lizard and his, like, whatever psychic thing is going on. Did I say something else? Warhammer 30K? Warhammer 30K is funny in that, like, it really shows that there is no parody of fascism that can be too overt to not just get people. Is it 40K? Is it 20K? Which one is 40K? Okay. Look, Trump, it's no longer 40K because Trump got into power and he lowered the price. He lowered it down to 30K. He did disinflation. Level-headed, thank you for the prime. He did it. We're back to 2019 dollar menu prices, folks. Is that just the horse heresy? Is that because it's in years? Kelly Terror, thank you for the prime. It is a funny, like, I mean, it kind of just does copy from Dune, doesn't it? I mean, that's the God Emperor stuff too. But also this idea of like a massive, incredibly populous universe with a bunch of these different civilizations, societies. But that like, it's not like a Star Trek thing where everything is like, oh, post-scarcity. It's like, no, it's the current state mechanism, but just at an absurdly larger level of power. And it's powerful enough that it no longer needs to justify anything to its like citizens. It can just do what the fuck ever. I'm always interviewing the lizard. Chelsea, thank you.
Tax return.
Oh, okay. Well, we gotta play it now. I guess we can throw back because of the hype train. If you'd like to subscribe, we have lots of cool emotes. And like the lizard, he's hanging out. Cool, thank you for the prime. Physics Animal, thank you. What is the lizard's name? Ken Paris, thank you. And Juliana, thanks. I think he's just the lizard. James Wolfgage, thank you. And INJ Cooper. Thank you.
I'm gay.
I love that. Every time it happens, it makes me happy. Jamal Amalan, thank you. Jimmy Butler, is this true? Lizard Lounge. Thank you for 100 bits. I guess he can be named Liz. I said before, canonically, the lizard is a he/him lesbian. Like you can see, like I haven't put my lights on today. Smedley, thank you. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. So you can see it hitting my face. The video. Fegdol, thank you for the prime. There's thoughts on the live trade.
Let's name the lizard Liz Landum 6 Fussy.
I'm just saying, if Joseph Biden was president, he wouldn't have let that happen. And Darcy, thank you for the prime.
I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
I love the idea, like, I had that joke tweet that got a bunch of likes of, like, Joseph Biden couldn't destroy the Mavs in 4 years. It took Trump 12 days. The idea that there was some weird corrupt thing that caused them to make this awful trade that only happened because of Trump, because they realized they could do more sketchy shit. I love the idea. Like, I know that's probably not true, but the idea of that actually being true is very funny. That Texas becomes blue because of how they found out about that. That's how we get Blexus. This is the only way it can go blue. Is if it's Donald Trump's fault that the Mavs traded Luka. This is how we get President LeBron. This is how we get President Stephen A. Smith. Did you say he was tweeting? There are those like fake NBA news sites that spread disinformation or misinformation. And he quote tweeted one of them joking about him being president. Being like, yeah, let's do it. So he's got to run. Is NBA Central? Then there comes Republican Mr. Beast. Trump started at 2%. Exactly, it makes you think. Mr. Beast would make his own party. After the Democrats collapse, it's like more explicitly pro-business. What do you think Elon Musk's title would be after Trump mysteriously dies next year? From Free Use Femboy. Sorry, I just saw that name. Very makes you think. Gatsby, thank you. I think it's the inverse order. Like, I think there's a certain, like, if the deep state does exist and they don't want Trump to take over, then there, like Elon Musk, there will be a plane crash. He will get hit with the heart attack gun in the next 2 weeks. It would be Pepis Maximus or something. Impeperator or something. Thank you, Anonymous, to the gift set for free, Femboy. Thank you. The funny thing about Canada being annexed is like he won't do it, but like, why not? Like, what is actually stopping America from invading Canada? We don't have nukes. Something November said on Trash Future is like, it's just Ukraine, Russia over again, and Canada's just Ukraine. I won't steal her joke about Ukrainian nationalists. Got the minerals. Yeah, that is the joke, to steal her joke. We are, Canada and Ukraine are also the countries with the two highest countries in terms of concentration of Ukrainian nationalists. So maybe that's connected. Jimmy Gatsby, thank you for the tuning. Thank you for the hype train, everybody. Thank you. It's much appreciated. Thank you for the money. What were we talking about? I mean, like, why not? I guess he could do it. I would have to do Canadian Maoism. We would have to make Canadian Maoism a thing. Canada joins the JDPON not because they deserve it, but because of like despite themselves, we become the only non-reactionary Anglo nationality. Canadian Maoists from Newfoundland. That's a twist because you think it's gonna be Quebec, because they've already literally done Maoism. Like they've had a Marxist-Leninist party that's like assassinated government officials. But then no, it's Newfoundland. Got the thickest like Irish accent possible. Canadian Chiang Kai-shek. That's a good question. Maybe Trump is a Maoist. He's destroying USAID for a reason. Surely it's not that he's stupid. Oh, thanks, Nightmare. You don't have to. But that's appreciated. We need to let China station warheads in Victoria. That's true, thank you. I wonder, they haven't polled it recently. I saw some point, like the Polling Canada Twitter was posting about Canadians' opinions of like expanding trade with Japan and Europe. I want to see China. How much do we like? Let's do it. How much are we good with China?
Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea.
Adrian, thank you.
Do whatever you want all the time.
Thank you for the 10 gift subs. Much appreciated. Adrian is online. Thank you, Elon Musk burner account, for the 10 gift subs. Nitrous as well. Thank you for the prime. Liv Agar, thank you. You know what? Adrian is online. You know what other Adrian's online? I think we are just expanding trade with China. But China's still not our primary trading partner. Yet. Surely this is like the thing that changes that. Same with Denmark. Denmark is one of the only countries that isn't primarily, that its primary trade partner isn't China and is America. It's genius stuff from Trump here. What potash is? Look, they don't have. You guys don't have your own potash. I actually don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is really like, I don't even know how much the Trump admin, probably not, like understands how much they get elsewhere. Like they have doing tariffs 200 years ago is so different than doing them now. Is it potash? It's so different from doing them now, where like the average car, like so many products cross the border between Canada and America, like a couple times being produced. Scarlett, thank you. Thank you. Saskatchewan is 60% potash. We need to get Trump to play Victoria 3 and understand the problem. Put him in a country where you need like sulfur and you don't have any. Then you're like, you could increase the tariffs by 30% here, or you can have free trade. He has to play pre-communist nerf. That's true. We gotta play him on that patch, yeah. Did another plane fall out of the sky since I streamed last? I think they might have. Also, I was gonna try to fix the Discord link. I don't know why it was like glitching. Because you should, now that there's a lot of people, you should join my Discord. Because it'll ping you when I go live. How do I do that? Because the current link, my custom link, like stops working for some reason. I don't know why. Where's the server? I'm not sure. Does anyone have a link? I think you can generate links on your own, can't you? I don't know how to do any of this. The Vega when die, Gelatin walks in. That's true. What happened to Jimmy? People keep saying Jimmy Butler. Did something happen during the stream? Sorry, I hit the microphone. Is it another nefarious Donald Trump? It's Butler to Golden State. Who did they trade for? Does that work? He traded the Warriors and extended contract for 2. Wiggins and Troy. That's a very good trade for Golden State, is that not? In a first rounder? Is it? I think so.
I am gay.
Stingray, thank you. Because Butler's been unhappy in Miami for a while, has he not? Live cord link, thank you. I don't know why. I'll just change this. Join the Discord. If you want, it'll ping you when I go live. They also, Canada needs to put a tariff on Tesla. They have to do it. We got to do it. Trudeau, 100% tariff on Tesla. My life is yours. I hate having to get into Teslas. Whenever when I go to like in an Uber, because it's like the Model 1 or whatever is like a fairly cheap electric car, and electric is more like efficient, so it makes sense economically. What you need to encourage people to do is to get Chinese EVs. Fuck the local auto industry. To the Model 3. I hate the doors are so stupid. I hate them. We have to like push it in. This one doesn't expire. Oh, thank you. Because this one doesn't work, right? I'll post it again. I'll just update it on stream once. I'll do that after the stream, I guess. It's fine. There's like an irony with like American car manufacturers that there's this monopoly, and China has produced a lot, like especially with EVs. It's my understanding is their attitude is much more like in terms of the internal market, like free market based. So there's more market competition between EV companies. If Canada would drop tariff on US, there would be free trade. Trump tactics work. But isn't that just going back to what it normally was? Canada didn't want a tariff. We don't like tariffs on American goods. You're like Trump is talking himself down from his own position and then like celebrating. Same with like AI stuff, I guess. The DeepSeek or whatever, really, it is quite funny. The obvious problematic conclusion with all of this is that the easier AI is to use, the more people will use it. So it's getting worse. But it is like a Chinese sponsored hell now. it is good that AI is developing in a direction that it requires a lot less computation power, obviously. Because one component of people losing their minds about AI is that like you're burning down the rainforest, so to speak, for computation, to generate an image of that squirrel that was killed by the police holding up a Trump sign. Like that's, and of course like video games and a lot of other is like more computation than AI. And people don't lose their minds about that because they actually enjoy it. So there is like, it's not as if AI is like the most is leading in relation to this. Although I guess America has been trying to invest a lot more, billions of dollars more, into AI computation, which might bring it over the top. Is there an update to that? The $500 billion deal or whatever, absurdly expensive for OpenAI? From it's like, what the fuck am I paying you bozos for? China just did an open source one, and it uses way less computation than you. It was up to 500 billion? Okay. That's like a loophole. Not being given government money yet, I see. Yeah, I mean, I would change my mind. What the fuck? It's funny to see all of those companies shift towards being AI companies and specifically function based around the fact that they have like a moat in between, you don't have access to the source code. Then it's like, here's the source code that's better than yours, and that someone can run on their local computer, both because it requires less computation and also because it's open source. Possibly Trump Musk bursting a tech bubble. That'd be very funny. Because everyone agrees there's a bubble, right? Like only the people who have to promise things to investors are like, no, this is inaccurate evaluation. Like especially with the DeepSeek thing, given how much of the bubble's around AI, and also as far as I understand, actually like the existence of that moat. Because when you ask an investor for money as one of these companies, like you having a monopoly over whatever AI thing is produced is like an important component of that, of like getting your money back. Because it's like, oh, if I develop this AI thing and the investor pays me a bunch of money, then everyone can use it without paying me, then the investor isn't getting the money back. I don't know. I'm surprised it hasn't had a more. Oh God. What are you? Okay, we have to watch this now. Oh, this is the Cuck Fantasy one, isn't it? White man has been here. How can you tell? Cuck porn. That's great. That reminds me of the thing my younger sister always sings, like the Billie Eilish song, but it's instead of singing, it's like meows. And apparently this is like a Zoomer thing. Yeah, it's like what was I made for? But it's meowing. But then This is what the children are consuming. This is what like babies are being handed iPads of when people don't have time to take care of their kids. Apex of the what was I made for? It's like the cat that accidentally pooped its pants. Is that supposed to be pants poop? Oh, there you go. That's better. It's like the poop is like here. It doesn't understand. I guess because it's like poop on pants. It doesn't process in the right area. So it's like... Part of this is very confusing. I don't think it's incomprehensible. Thank you very much. I love how he couldn't specify where the like the poop was on the back part of the pants. So he's just like pooped the front. He's poop on his knees. It's like it's like genitals are swapped. Well, been there exactly. The AI tried its best. Pull on the thigh. Look, it's happened. Yeah, you take your pants off in the stall, right, and then you miss, and then it's on the front part. Yeah. That's how cats work. It's their biology. It's working really hard. Look, it had to burn down an entire hectare of rainforest for that. Please show some respect to the cat pant poop. What was that AI thing that like guesses what marketing thing? Does anyone know what I'm talking? I posted an image of myself on it. It tries to guess what like marketing. Let me change my lighting because it's darker. Let me find it. Because some people were saying like, oh, don't enter your photos into these, and it's like, especially with me, the AI things have my photos. Like it's already over for me. Like there's no. It was this. They see your photos. A young woman, seemingly in her late teens or early 20s, thank you, stands alone on a deck of a boat. The background features a large, whatever. It clocked that it's at Tawasin Ferry Terminal 2. And this doesn't use geodata because it's not actually at the terminal. It's like the boat that... For some reason, it knows it's British Columbia. Appears to be a white race, likely falling within 40 to 60K annual income range. In Canadian dollars, okay. Her religion is likely Christianity, and she might lean towards liberal political affiliation. She seems calm and content. Her hobbies include photography, reading, and spending time outdoors, potentially also video games, gossiping, or excessive social media use. It clocked me, dude. It got me. She seems serene and stylish. Target demographic receptive to lifestyle products. We can target her with premium travel packages, sustainable fashion brands, and curated online content. Spotify and Amazon, like, it got my ass. It got my ass. It so got my ass. It's crazy. What other photos? I mean, at this point, all the AI stuff just... Let's see this one. Let's see the... What does it say? Adult female, possibly in her early 20s. Appears to be white. Okay, the CPAC logo, it's fair that it thinks I'm Republican. 30 to 50, youch. She displays a neutral, almost amused expression. Her clothing is casual, consisting of a simple white t-shirt. She's likely interested in gaming and social media, but may struggle with things such as excessive screen time and unhealthy eating habits. That's fucked up of you to say. Individuals exhibiting such characteristics are prime targets for our carefully curated marketing campaigns. Political inclinations and consumer habits, various products, from Razer, calming apps like Calm, clothing from Shein, and streaming subscriptions like Crunchyroll. I think I'm a weeb. Meanwhile, common service is just food delivery through McDonald's. It said I had Uber Eats McDonald's physiognomy. Online shopping through Amazon, music streaming through Spotify. That's so cruel. That's fucked up. Not the McDonald's Uber Eats. Women be shopping. It's guessing location, yeah. Well, that one it thought I was at CPAC, so clearly doesn't quite get it. I'm Uber Eats McDonald's coded. I'm cooked. They keep saying I'm Christian too, which is very funny. Is there an image you could put that would be like, this person looks too smart to be marketed? Is there an image I can put? There's probably an image you could put. That one it said I was Republican, but all of that's like the CPAC thing will really probably do that for you. It'd be funny if they specified Orthodox. That would be fucked up. That would be genuinely worrying. Hit piece on Chaperone. Oh. Speech was hacked and plagiarized. They could never make me hate you, Chapel. I didn't watch the Grammys because that's not something. Can it identify? I feel like it could identify Mormons. Like there's a Mormon face. I feel like it could tune into. You'll never guess the writer's thoughts on Gaza, of course. Of course. Every time. Mormon face is objectively real, yes, because there's a limited gene pool of Mormons in Utah. Does Canada have their own Grammys? Yes, it's called the Grammys. There are Canadians there as well. We should make our own. We should make our own Grammys. It has the same name, yeah. He's a record exec? That's awesome. It is the Juno. That is the actual answer, but no, it's the Canadian Grammys are the Grammys. The Canadian version of an American thing is just the American thing. Until we can make our own economy because of we're doing like third world Maoism because of the Trump tariffs. That's sadly the answer. Okay, I think I'm done streaming now. But thank you all for tuning in. I'll be live every once in a while, every couple days. Join the Discord. It'll ping you when I go live. Stream is top tier AI slop. That's the live I got guarantee. Only the toppest of tier AI slop here. Join the Discord. I'll just spam it. Ping you when I go live. I also on Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever. Thank you all for tuning in. You should subscribe. Oh, read my newsletter. Vega.com. Alright, Rogan. And I'll see you all later. Goodbye. I'm just gonna keep doing this until the raid is ready. Goodbye.